Today's session began with timely and moving comments from national leaders and friends.
He's our friend. We couldn't have a better friend in the President's of the AFL-CIO, and so with pride, I introduce to you Rich Trumbull.
Quite frankly, there's nowhere I'd rather be right now than with this super union for superheroes. You built the foundation for a national nurses movement, a movement to win the highest quality patient care, a movement with a powerful voice, not only here in Washington, but around the country and ultimately around the world. And you're setting the standards that actually lift up every union, every working person at every level of the healthcare industry. I was there and I saw firsthand what NNU was doing. The RNs at Temple and their professional colleagues proved that when nurses stand together, they stick together, they strike together, no boss and no army of scabs can defeat you.
Earlier I was introduced as the Secretary of Labor, but so much has happened in the last 2 months. And now I want to change my job title. I want to say that I'm going to be the Secretary of Workplace Safety. We need to make sure that their health and safety of all of you is protected. This is not a moral obligation. It is an economic and practical necessity for all of us. 12% of nurses who plan to leave the profession cited back injuries as a contributing factor. What a waste when a career of an experienced nurse is cut short decades too early because of an easily preventable back injury. So I hope you're fired up. I am, and I want to hear you all stand up and say, United Nurses, yes. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Next, we heard from a group of RN activists from around the country, including Barbara Tiller of Tufts Medical Center.
And we also have started getting to know Department of Public Health a little better. We like to call them on a regular basis and just make sure that we're following regulation. You know, like maybe cardiac telemetry patients need telemetry boxes because when they don't have them, people die and no one notices. So we've really started to look at how to hold our hospital accountable. We've reached out and we hope that that we can continue to do that and that everyone else will realize that our battle is your battle and together we can get it done.
The management brought forward 31 takeaways, no improvements, and not one word that will improve patient care.
This is an extremely hard time for nurses at Borges. Management has harassed us from every side. Nurses are alarmed by the thought of a lockout, especially in this economic times, and Michigan's been hit hard. But I have never been more proud of any group than the nurses at Borges. They have stood together, arm in arm, and weathered storm after storm after storm that this employer has thrown at us. And we remain united for our fight for safe patient care. Is it too much to ask for an employer to come to the table and negotiate a fair contract? And then I realized that is the problem. We need to stop asking and start demanding control over our practice. I am tired of being told how to do my job by those that do not know how to do my job.
But the most important victory, really, is that we have an educated and mobilized and fired up membership. A new group of fighters whose eyes have been forced open by Temple's brutality. They learned a lesson in struggle that they'll never forget, that you couldn't buy for all the money in the world. And we are ready to take on our next fight. Thank you.
And we thought, we've got to say something, and we've got to say something in a united way that tells these employers it's a new day in America, and registered nurses are going to stand up and they're not going to take it anymore. That the NNU Staff Nurse Assembly calls upon NNU affiliates and all RNs to exercise our collective power to achieve and defend these national RN collective bargaining standards. Thank you, and we hope that you adopt it.
procession ended with some rousing and uniting music. In the late afternoon, many of the nurses joined a local picket line at Washington Hospital.
This is like absolutely incredible, the power here. Could you see this in front of our hospitals all around Massachusetts? This is absolutely empowering.
It's just amazing to see all these nurses from across the country standing together, supporting our brothers and sisters at this institution. It's just, you can feel the power.
We are really concerned with the major staffing issues. We've been working so desperately short for so long that it's just been such an uncomfortable feeling working these days. This is just overwhelming. It is. I'm almost speechless, and I'm never speechless. But this is such a good show of solidarity and camaraderie. Nurses are so powerful, and we just have to know that, how powerful we are and what we stand for, the care we give. Hospitals cannot function without a nurse.
The mighty nurses! Everywhere we go! People want to know!